And joining us now on Coach's Corner here on this Saturday morning, Flora Wolves head basketball coach Phil Lieb for the first of many. First of many.
That is right. The first of many. We've had very, very, very many.
Yes, here we go again. But, hey, looking forward to it. We were talking before we went on the air a little bit. Wolves had a great season last year, wound up over 20 wins, 21-8. And, the only thing that I'll mention is we kind of left things with a sour taste in our mouth, and I'm hoping that carries over to this year.
I think so, and I think the boys that we have returning from last year's group were a little disgruntled, a little sour tasting, so to speak, and hopefully they've worked so hard and done some good things in the preseason, off-season, get themselves ready for the season to get that little bit of taste out of their mouth. But like you said, we did some good things last year. We accomplished some things that we wanted to accomplish, and I think we surprised a lot of people. But it was a great group of young men, and a group that's going to be missed greatly, especially the senior leadership that we had. But they were fine young men.
They really were. And you mentioned the seniors that we lost. Just real quick to reflect on that here before we move ahead to this year. Christian Taylor, Blake Shehorn, Corey Moore, Brendan Thomas, Clayton Walden. You got a lot of shoes to fill this year.
Oh, 10 pair or 5 pair. There's 10 total. But, they like you said, all those kids were quality kids.
And they all contributed.
They did, each and every one in their own right and each and every time in their own game. I mean, it is amazing how we did last year as far as I figured out. We had 7 games that were decided in the last 20 seconds to 30 seconds that we pulled out. Unfortunately, we didn't pull 2 of them out, and sometimes that happens. And one of those was that regional championship, and that was the sour taste that we're talking about. But I mean, Christian was a fine young man, good leader for us. Brendan Thomas got the most out of his ability. Just a passion for the game. Corey Moore was just the type of kid you want in that foxhole. Blake Shehorn, just to watch him develop from his freshman year to senior year was just a blessing. Clayton Walden, just to see him to stay with it. Year after year, possession after possession. I mean, just to fight and through it and become the player that he was. I mean, he really contributed well, and it was just a fine group of guys, and we're going to miss very much.
Well, exactly. But let's go ahead and move ahead to this year. It seems kind of weird to me still. I can't get over the fact that we're not already playing.
Yeah.
We're so used to playing this Thanksgiving week. A couple of years ago, we would have already had a couple of games under our belt here, and here it is. We don't start till next week. So it's kind of odd. It
is odd. And, we were just having that conversation with my wife. We do talk, even during the season sometimes. But and she was saying, I'm kind of hesitant saying this, but I am getting kind of antsy. And I said, well, I'm not. After watching the practices, and as a coach, you're never ready. But as a player, you're ready after day 2. I mean, they're ready to get out there. But it is different. It's different being able to enjoy your family and Thanksgiving and not having to worry about preparing for that next game, which is the following day, or the games that led up to it. And here we are on a Saturday morning, and we can just I get to go scout a little bit, go watch some other games, to watch my brother play. So it's kind of nice in that aspect, but at the same time, everybody else is testing themselves and seeing where they're at, and we kind of want to be doing the same thing. And I know we're going to get enough of that come Wednesday when we tip off at the DuQuoin Classic.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned that DuQuoin tournament, and I think it actually starts on Tuesday, but we don't play Tuesday,
right.
And we go down and play Wednesday night, taking on Hamilton County, McLeansboro, so to speak, and that's a tournament we went into last year, and we didn't have one iota what to expect. And the first game might have been as ugly a basketball as I've ever seen us play. Still won the game and won the tournament.
Yeah.
And, so the bar is already set pretty high. And I noticed this year they've got us slid into the last game of the tournament instead of having us play in that championship game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and and that's what happens, I guess. We not necessarily we earned anything, but we just got their respect and turned some heads, so to speak, a little bit last year. But like you said, last year that first game, I was sitting there thinking. Looking at Coach Lust, and he had the same expression. I don't know, we're going to win a game because there's that period for about 2 minutes we couldn't get the ball past half court. But once they calmed themselves down and started playing some basketball and playing together, they did some good things. We ended up winning that thing, and we did some good things the rest of the year. But it should be an exciting tournament. I mean, this year we will have 4 games instead of just 3 last year, so it seemed a little bit more like a tournament. We got Hamilton County on that on Wednesday night, and then we go back on Friday night. We play Cairo. And then our double day, we play Vandalia at 2, and then that night later on at 7:30 we play DeCoin. So
yeah, that's going to be a tough double day.
it will be a tough double day. I mean, those are two very good quality programs. It'll be physical programs, athletic. So it's going to be a tough task for the Wolves.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, let's talk a little bit about the makeup of this year's team. First and foremost, got to ask you about Ethan coming off of that football injuries. How's he looking here on this Saturday?
Well, he's looking, I think, pretty good. I mean, each and every day has been a progression. We just want to thank all the people out there who have been helping, and as far as also with praying. Now, we know there's so many other things going on in life, but that's important to him and important to the Wolves basketball program. But he has done a great job as far as rehabilitating, getting back into the swing of things. And like we said, each and every day has been progressed a little bit more. Each and every week has progressed a little bit more. Last week, it was trying to going through the drills without any contact, getting a 5-0 a little bit. This week, it's been more as far as getting in the flow of things. And hopefully, Monday and Tuesday, it's full tilt to really see and test where he's at. But we're anticipating and really hoping that he'll be ready for that Wednesday night game.
Yeah, I found it, I don't know what the word I'm even looking for here is, but I mean, this is a kid that started 3 years of football as a quarterback.
Yeah.
No injuries at all. Final game of the senior year, and he gets this crazy injury. And I know if I'm sitting up there in the booth going ballistic, I can't imagine what was going through your mind at that point.
Oh, Randy, you wouldn't want to know. But I was sitting there thinking, my wife and I have both agreed that we're never going to keep our kids from doing something that they really have a desire to do, and he really desires to do that. But when he went down, all of a sudden you think, oh no, I mean you think the worst. But fortunately, Lord willing, he'll be ready to go, and he's healed really nicely. But just a real quick funny story. I mean, he has survived multiple hits after multiple hits through the football season, and all of a sudden he goes down in that second quarter. In runs the backup, which happens to be Ian, and then up pops my son Owen cheering for Ian. I said, Owen, what about your older brother Ethan, who just went down? And said, Dad, just stay positive. Ian needs our support. So Owen has already changed gear and shifted, and he's on to Ian. But we really appreciate all the people asking and thinking of him, and he's doing a great job, remarkable job, and hopefully he'll be ready to go for tip-off. But it's not necessarily about Ethan. It's also we got some other guys to go along with him, and we're really excited about that too. We have Bryce Pierce, returning starter from last year, second leading scorer. I mean, him and Ethan was separated by just a few points as far as that's how close they were in scoring. But he can really just spread the defense out and be able to knock down shots, especially when given just a little bit of a glimpse. He'll knock those things down for you, and he's doing a much better job controlling the offense for us and running the show for us. Logan Smith has been a great contribution for us. He's about 5'10", plays like he's 6'4". I mean, he's just a jackrabbit, can jump out of the gym, very athletic. He's going to be kind of our defensive stopper, I think, sometimes, and really has done a nice job accepting his role. And you got John Castlery, 6'5", able to knock down that shot when given some room. He's got a nice looking shot. He just takes a little time to get it off, but unfortunately with our group, I think he can have that. And then you got his brother Robert, who's done a really good job as far as getting himself ready and mixed up inside a little bit. And he's more of a slasher, more of a rebounder, but he'd knock down the jumper too. And then we have another addition, not to leave someone else out, but in Jeremiah Allison, I think was surprised me a lot over the summer. He was a good contributor for us. Came in, gave us some solid minutes. Has really worked hard so far in this preseason, and the big addition to us and big surprise for us has probably been Pedro Mendoza. 6'5", 230, and you think, oh my word, I hope he can just put it in the bucket, and he can, and he is just a load, and I think he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's athletic. He plays hard. We just got to maintain his focus and keep his energy going. And I think that's the big key with all of them, is battle through frustration and keep your focus and keep playing hard no matter the circumstances.
Well, Pedro, you mentioned him. He's a foreign exchange student from Brazil.
Yeah.
We saw him a little bit in football, and we saw some of his athletic abilities in football because at times he was unstoppable on the defensive side of the ball, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if he's relayed to you the differences in the style of basketball here versus there.
Yeah, he has a little bit, basically through drills and knocking people down, and we have to tell him Pedro, you can't do that here. Oh, I like contact. Well, we appreciate that, but he has learned to set solid screens without pushing the wall down. He has learned to that our lane is a little bit different size down there. He has learned that it is a physical game here in the Americas as opposed to down there in Brazil. But he's got a good concept of the game. It's just kind of different because I think what he was used to was not near as much conditioning, not near as much hard work, and not near as much discipline. And we like to run some things, we like to set things up, and sometimes he just likes to go off on his own little thing and do his own little thing, which works well sometimes when things are going well. But there's times you need that toughness, need that mental discipline to be able to do what you need to do to get the job done.
So how deep do you think you're going to be able to go this year?
Well, we just named off about 7 guys right there, but also another guy if I could bring up would probably be Ian, his son, about 6'2". Well, he wants to be 6'2". He's more like 6'1", but he can play multiple positions, point guard to post, and then Jeffrey Grossi has really worked really hard in the offseason with his shot, and he's done some really good things for us in practice. So I think we can go anywhere between 6 to 9 deep at times, just depending on the circumstances.
Well, that's something that we've not always had here in recent years.
And and there's times that we may drop off a little bit when we sub, but I really don't see that happening too much. I mean, our size, we can go really big. I mean, we can go small at times, but it's kind of exciting because you can't teach height, and we have got some long arms out there with some tall bodies, and it's I'm just interested to see how that's going to be.
Well, it's like you and I have been joking on and off over the course of the last couple of months. We're going to look really good, A, getting off the bus, and B, in warm-ups.
Absolutely.
Ought to turn some heads.
And C, McDonald's.
Yeah.
But you're right, it will turn some heads, and I hopefully in a right manner. And, we've got some, fine quality young men who their parents should be very proud of. I mean, they worked hard, they're very respectful, they have great attitudes and sportsmanship, and our job and our goal as a varsity head coach is to compete to the best possible that we can. One of our goals also is to win as many as we possibly can, but the ultimate goal is to make them as fine young men as we possibly can, and that's as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a community citizen, so that they're productive citizens. And hopefully we're doing that here at Florida Wolves basketball program.
Exactly. A couple other things here I want to mention to you before I let you go this morning. First of all, we've got those 2 big tournaments that we always look at this time every year, notwithstanding the DuQuoin tournament next week, but I'm talking, of course, about the Vandalia Holiday Tournament. Yeah. And then the LIC tournament in January, which will be over at Olney, which short little drive for us. I like that a lot.
That is nice.
But I would think that those you guys have probably already talked about and are high on the radar.
I think so. I mean, not that summer means a lot to people, but coaches do pay attention to that, and we did some good things over the summer, but so did some other schools. And, the LIC, we'll find out after that DuQuoin tournament, man, we go right
You're leading me right into my next question.
Right out of the frying pan into the fire. Oh, my word. I mean, you go to Olney and open up our LIC competition there. We'll probably talk about this next Saturday. And then we go to Marshall, and then we have Mount Carmel at home. So you're talking about 3 very good teams that we'll face in the following week after the DuQuoin tournament. But like I said, as far as we just got to do what we need to do and keep getting better at this time of the year, and hopefully see where we're at come Wednesday night, and then the chips will fall where they may, so to speak, come the Vandalia tournament time, and then come the LIC tournament time.
Yeah, Wednesday night down at DuQuoin, taking on Hamilton County McLeansboro. They're the new team in the tournament this year.
They are. Yep.
Don't know a lot about them.
No, they lost some seniors. Well, everybody loses seniors from last year, but they lost some kids from last year. But I know Coach Welch does a good job with those guys. They play hard. They got some athletes usually. It's some toughness, some strength, some quickness to them. So it'll be a good challenge for us. And then we got Friday night, we got Cairo, and you know what they'll bring to the table. It'll
run and gun.
It'll be run and gun. It'll be quick. It'll be like playing 5-on-7 sometimes, and not the officials. That's just how quick they are. They seem like they're everywhere. And so, it should be interesting for us.
It really should. But we want to get things started off on a nice positive note. It'd be nice to go down there next week and repeat as tournament champs, not to put any weight on your shoulders or anything, but
I appreciate
one
that,
game at a time. We'd like to have a big crowd down there Wednesday night.
Absolutely. We had an awesome crowd following last year, and I just think that's out of respect to the young men that, what they did on that floor as far as working hard and their attitudes and their effort as they played together. And but yeah, like I said, it's a long drive, but it's pretty this time of the year. There's not much else going on.
And it's nice facilities.
It is a beautiful facilities, and they are so hospitable, and we just enjoy going down there. And hopefully we get a good crowd to come see us play the Foxes and the Pilots.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we'll see you down there Wednesday night. Talk to you in the post-game show, and be talking to you then again on what? Friday, Saturday, and then Saturday morning as well.
We'll be talking a lot to each other.
We're going to be seeing a lot of each other.
That's right.
Over these next 2 or 3 months. And again, thanks for joining us this
and
morning.
Thank you. You guys do a wonderful job. Thank you for you and Larry, and thank you for Coach Lust, who's helped me this year, and also Aaron Cox, who's a new fresh soft coach.
All right, very good. Looking forward to that as well. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more here in just a moment on Coach's Corner.